There comes a point where you stop pretending, where the smiles fade the second you're alone, where your energy isn't drained by work, or stress, or people. It's drained by the weight of holding yourself together. You wake up already tired. You go to sleep hoping tomorrow doesn't come. And no one knows, because you've become so good at functioning while falling apart. But if no one else has said it, I will. I see you. I hear you. And you are not alone. Not now. Not anymore. He wasn't someone you'd notice in a crowd. He didn't speak unless spoken to. Didn't ask for help. Didn't cause trouble. He was the quiet one. The one who got things done. The one everyone could count on. But no one asked how he was doing. No one saw the cracks beneath the surface. He held the world together for others, while his own heart was unraveling. For years, he learned to hide it. He smiled when people walked by. He said, "I'm good," automatically. He laughed at jokes he didn't find funny. He went to work, showed up for family, helped his friends, and still went home to fight demons no one could see. The exhaustion wasn't physical. It was emotional, spiritual. Like his soul had been screaming for years, and no one heard a sound. He remembered the moment he almost gave up, not because something terrible happened that day, but because everything inside him felt numb. He sat on the edge of his bed, staring at nothing, replaying years of silence, disappointment, and being overlooked. Memories of trying, failing, and never being enough flooded in. It wasn't a movie scene. There was no thunderstorm, no dramatic music, just silence, illness. Him on the floor, too numb to cry, too broken to scream. That's what rock bottom really looks like. It's not chaos. It's emptiness. It's the absence of hope. But then something happened. Something small, something quiet, a whisper. Not from outside, from within. It said, "What if you just give yourself one more chance?" He didn't believe it, but he heard it. And for the first time in years, he moved. Not confidently, not quickly, but intentionally. He stood up. And that was the beginning. Healing doesn't look like movies. It's not fast. It's not clean. It's messy, slow, painful. It's crying in the shower and wiping your face before you walk into work. It's letting the coffee go cold while you stare out the window trying to remember who you were before the burnout. It's writing things you're too afraid to say. It's letting yourself rest without guilt. He started with small things. Drinking more water, going for walks, putting his phone down, breathing, just breathing. Some days were better. Some days were unbearable. He wasn't healed, but he was healing. And that mattered. He learned to talk to himself like he was someone he loved. He learned to forgive himself for the years he spent running from the pain. He stopped chasing the old version of himself and started building a new one rooted in honesty. The lost people, the ones who only loved him when he was useful, the ones who disappeared when he stopped performing, when he stopped saying yes, when he finally said, "I need space." That hurt deeply. It felt like grieving people who were still alive. It brought nights of loneliness, questioning if healing meant walking alone. But it also made space. Space for truth. Space for peace. Space for people who could love him as he was, not as he performed to be. He began journaling every morning, not to be productive, just to feel, to hear his own voice again. He set boundaries. He said no. He cried without apologizing. And in those small rebellions, he reclaimed his power. He realized healing wasn't about becoming someone new. It was about remembering who he was before the world told him he had to be someone else. Before the trauma. Before the shame. Before he was taught to equate silence with strength. He didn't need to prove his worth anymore. He didn't need to fix every broken thing. He just needed to show up. Messy, honest, present. And every time he did, the pain lost a little more power. He started feeling again. Music made him cry. Sunlight made him smile. Quiet moments became sacred. And the more he embraced the truth of his brokenness, the more he found beauty in the world around him. Not because the world had changed, but because he had. Because he was finally present in it. He learned that some days the bravest thing you can do is breathe. Some days, healing means showing up with shaky hands and a heavy heart and saying, "I'm still here." And if you're still here, if you're still listening to this, that means you've already survived everything that was supposed to destroy you. That means you're already more powerful than you know. He still has hard days. He still falls. There are mornings when the heaviness returns without warning, nights when the silence gets too loud. But now he knows how to get back up. He lights a candle. He breathes. He opens his journal. He takes a walk, even if it's just around the block, not with force, but with grace. He no longer fights to be seen. He sees himself. He no longer begs to be heard. He listens to him, and that is freedom. He walks through life differently now, not because he's fixed, but because he's real. He knows his worth. He knows his light, and even on the darkest days, he knows the sun is still there, even if it's behind the clouds. And maybe you needed to hear this today. Maybe you've been holding on by a thread. Maybe your strength is wearing thin. Let this be your sign. You are not alone. You are not behind. You are not broken beyond repair. You are becoming. If this story echoed something inside you, drop a comment, even just a word. I'll read it. I'll respond. I'll stand with you, because healing happens in community, and you don't have to do this alone anymore. Like this video, share it with someone who's fading in silence. And remember, this is not the end of your story. This is the part where you come back to life. At this time, you come back for you.